So right about now, I'd like to invite Job Lazarus Okello to come and talk about community involvement. Thank you so much.
There are two kinds of factors we all face in this world. There are factors that are within our control, and there are those that are beyond our control. So if we really want to solve any problem, then we must take care of all the factors that are within our control in any setting at any particular time. Now, when you take care of the factors that are within your control, you then have nothing to lose. Now, fighting teenage pregnancy is a collective responsibility. This is something nobody can do alone. Something that involves many people cannot be done by just one person. So we need everybody on board, and everyone should know their respective roles, and they should make their contributions. Now, the best way to overcome teenage pregnancy is to prevent it in the first place. Whatever can be prevented must be prevented. The Bible offers a very wise counsel in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 11, that knowing how to charm a snake is of no use if you let the snake bite first. Therefore, we must do all we can to prevent whatever we can prevent. Prevention is not to be better than cure. Now, we should prevent what can be prevented so that we don't treat what might never be curable. There actually people say a tree is straightened when it is still young. We should not wait until the tree grows and then we try to straighten it. Now, teenage pregnancy is a very critical issue, and we should not entertain teenage pregnancy at any time for any reason. You cannot overcome what you tolerate. So we should never, ever tolerate teenage pregnancy for any reason. We should all take complete responsibility, because no one will do your responsibility for you. We must not blame anyone for our irresponsibility. We must be responsible and do our part. Nobody will ever put food on their table for you. And nobody will ever come from any place and fight our problems for us. We are the ones to do the job. Therefore, we must unite to fight teenage pregnancy and other issues. Our common problems should bring us together to fight to better our lives. I believe that all of us can do something to solve every problem we face. Therefore, do not sit and fold your arms and watch as we perish. In order for us to fix the issues in a society, everybody must take their position. Okay. Now, before I focus on the different categories of people, I want to say something more about education and vices. It took me a lot of time to understand that ignorance is the deadliest disease ever. And if you study carefully any problem, you realize that at the root of the problem is ignorance. The people involved are ignorant in some way, in some aspects. But again, we live in the information age. And in this age, ignorance is a choice. Where there is little education, social vices are very high. Poverty is high, smoking, alcoholism, teenage pregnancy, prostitution, and the victims are mainly the illiterate. The illiterate are always exploited by the literate in any aspect of life. And the world is controlled by those who are knowledgeable. The right knowledge is attained through holistic education, and it is a solution to ignorance. Now, this education should not only be in formal schools. The most important school is the home. There's no better school than the home. Now, the question should be, is your home a school? What do you teach these young girls and boys in your home about the different aspects of life? Now, let me focus on the parents now, the owners of the teenagers. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That's in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Now, we all know that no child is born knowing anything. No prostitute was born knowing sex. No smoker was born knowing smoking. No alcoholic was born knowing alcohol. That means we all learn these things. Whatever we know, we learned. Therefore, as a parent, you must be careful. You must study what are your children exposed to. There's a lot of information in the world right now. You must be careful with what your children are exposed to. Nobody will parent your children for you. You must take complete responsibility. because you are responsible for the seed sown into the lives of your children when they are still young. Do not let people sow bad seeds in the lives of your children. Now, proper parenting can solve most of the problems we face. Many parents today do not teach their children properly. So the kids walk out of home into the world when they're not properly armed with the right knowledge. And many of them get pregnant. In the home, you should teach your children moral principles, values, and virtues that will protect them when they go out. Because the predators are out there. The men who are ready for any scat, they are there. But have you armed your children with the right values, principles, and virtues? What have you taught your children about sex, about the different aspects of life? Sex education is very, very key. However, very few parents give their children sex education. This is very unfortunate. Even the parents themselves, many of them don't know it, by the way. So it's very important for parents to introduce their children to sex education at the right time, so that the children can responsibly handle their body changes. It is not the primary role of the teachers to teach your children sex education. Your home is the most important school. When I was a young boy, I remember one day my mom put us down and taught us about sex. He said, you can choose what you want to do with your life. You can go around playing with girls, they will get pregnant, and you will be responsible. The girls can go around playing with boys and they'll get pregnant and they'll be responsible. There are things they will never do for us. There are things our parents will never do for us. So we have to take responsibility. So as a parent, you must be close and supportive to your children in all possible ways so that they are not prone to exploitation by the predators. Guide your children to choose proper friends and role models who are successful people who can guide them to be responsible citizens. You must be exemplary to your children. Show them what you want them to be. Don't just say, sure, be what you want them to be. Do not be something else when you want your children to be something else. You are the first role model to your children. Train a child the way he should go and make sure you also go the same way. Then they will follow you. When I was a young boy, my dad taught me a very powerful lesson one day. He said, when you conquer these 5 things, then you will conquer life. The first one, he said, was sex. The second one, women or men. The third one, alcohol. The fourth, money. And the last one, your career. So as I grew up with these lessons, I learned, he taught me the most powerful lesson ever in my life. And then he said, you can conquer all these 5 things through one simple way, by conquering yourself. How many people have conquered themselves? Now, I want to focus on the teenagers now. We should never overcome teenage pregnancy unless the teenagers themselves take responsibility. I remember my grandfather told us one time that your life is in your hands. You have to decide what you want to do with it. He gave us an egg. Then he told us to hold that egg in our hands. So as we held the egg, he said, life is fragile, just like this egg. It can break anytime. You can break your life once and you never have it again. You must take care of your life the same way you will take care of an egg in your hands. So the teenagers must be responsible for their lives. They have to be obedient to their parents, guardians, and teachers so that they can be taught, because you cannot teach somebody who is not submissive. The teenagers must guard their lives jealously. Their lives are in their hands. And your future is in your hands, not your parents' hands. Therefore, you should never allow anyone to play with your future. If somebody comes to you and tells you they love you, and you say yes, you must understand that you are saying yes to someone destroying your future. Therefore, you must have clear goals for your life. It is easier to make proper choices in life when you have clear goals. You know what you want for your life. It becomes very easy to make proper choices. Many of the young people have no idea about where they want to be, where they're going with their lives. So anything that comes their way, they go for it. In the process, many of them get pregnant. Many of them get exploited. Teenagers should learn to work for things, never entertain free things. Many of the girls are getting pregnant because they accept free things. They want free things. Free things are very dangerous. They are never free. They can cost you your life. If somebody gives you something, the reason must be very clear and understandable. You must accept free things only when you must. And the reason, as well as the motive of the giver, must be very clear so that there is no suspicion. The most important thing the young people should understand is this: never put your future in the hands of anyone. Own it fully and let nobody ever play with it. Your future is in your hands. So if you allow that man to make you pregnant, that is it. Dad taught us one time that I am responsible for bringing you into this world, as well as showing you the way. But you are responsible for walking for yourself. In life, other people can show you the way and even walk with you, but no one will ever walk for you. It is your responsibility to walk for yourself. Therefore, if you waste your life, some people will stand with you, yes. Some people will laugh at you. Some will say sorry. Some will sympathize with you. But remember, no amount of sympathy can change your conditions, can change the fact that you're pregnant, that you're out of school. Therefore, you have to own your life and be responsible. Make proper choices for your life. The choices we make determine the results we get. You can choose your actions, but not their consequences. If you choose to play sex, you cannot choose the consequences of the sex, because the consequences are inbuilt. Before doing anything, you must study the consequences critically. Never do something if you're not ready to face the consequences. As a girl, if you play with men and get pregnant, that's your fault. As a boy, if you play with girls and make them pregnant, that's your fault. If you play with your future, that's your fault. You can be taken to the best school ever, but if you choose not to study, you will never study. There are things your parents will never do for you. There are things nobody will do for you in life. You must do them for yourself. Your parents can take you to school, but if you choose not to study, you will never study. You can be taught the best lessons ever, but if you choose not to apply the lessons, nothing will change in your life. If you play with fire, you get burnt. So many of the young people are getting pregnant today because they are not in charge of their lives. Now, our people are also saying poverty is a very serious factor, which is contributing to the high level of teenage pregnancies. Whereas this is true, but this is not the whole thing. You see, many people think they're very poor. Many of our people in northern Uganda think they're very poor. But some of them have not seen real poverty. When I visited Rwanda in 2018, I saw real poverty. I went to a place where people cannot do anything. Over 60% of the country is hilly. They don't have any land. They cannot farm. They have no garden. But the way they live their lives is totally different. In northern Uganda, we over-glorify poverty. We are very quick to blame anything on poverty, even when we are irresponsible. In some cases, we should not entertain poverty. If you are married because of poverty, then you must understand you are marrying poverty itself. Poverty is a global problem. We should not personalize it. So we cannot justify teenage pregnancy by saying our girls are getting pregnant because of poverty. No. We have to take responsibility to get ourselves out of poverty. It is not the role of any other person to get yourself out of poverty. Many of our people are blaming the leaders, the MPs, the government leaders, traditional leaders. But before you blame the leaders, have you performed all your duties? It's very important. Poverty should motivate you to work hard, not to look for men or women or girls and boys to play with. No one will fight poverty for you. If you marry because you are poor, you will marry poverty. Now, the religious leaders can play a critical role in fighting teenage pregnancy, as well as any other problem. It is in the church or the mosque or the places of worship that moral principles, values, and virtues must be instilled in the people. So our religious leaders can do their part. The policymakers have a big role to play. The health sector, the doctors can introduce youth-friendly services and bring them closer to the youth to teach them so that we can raise responsible people. Now, the Nigerian people say it takes a whole village to raise a child. We must understand that it is our collective responsibility to raise our children into responsible people. Everybody must do their part. Remember, there are things you can do and there are things that you cannot do. Do everything that you can do to fight every problem we face. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Job Lazarus, for the instruction that you have given us.